We know we ask a lot from our patron and support network, and we are always so grateful for your generosity. In these challenging times, it's even harder to raise the funding we need to serve our community and achieve our goals. So we're always looking for new ways to maintain our revenues without adding additional burdens to our supporters. Today, we're excited to share a great opportunity that can really help our community and requires no additional out-of-pocket from you. We've partnered with the Liberty Company Insurance Brokers and their Liberty Cares program. Liberty Cares is simple. You already make monthly payments for your insurance needs, whether it's auto, home, or for your business. For every line of insurance you move to Liberty, they will donate 25% of the commissions they receive on your policies back to our cause. And under this special partnership arrangement, that donation will come to us again and again every year you keep your policy with Liberty. Often, you'll be able to move your insurance into this program simply by signing one form. It's that easy. The Liberty Company is one of the nation's largest insurance brokers, and they've won a number of recognitions for their excellent operations and workplace culture, so you can rest assured that you will be well taken care of. If you would like to learn more about how this new partnership with Liberty can help turn your insurance dollars into much-needed funds for our community, please visit libertycompany.com/libertycares or shoot them an email at libertycares@libertycompany.com. And please be sure to let them know that you're part of our community so that they will credit the benefit of your policies back to our organization. Your ongoing support is much appreciated, so thank you in advance.
Hey everybody! Welcome back to another crafting video with me, Avivah, your art director from the Asner Family Center. I'm sure you don't recognize me right now. I'm in a great disguise. As you can probably guess, we are drawing our good friend Stitch. Once again, in the past we drew Stitch, but today we're switching it up a little bit and we're going to be practicing something that we haven't actually practiced before, which is facial expressions. So we've done so many different types of faces, and they have been making lots of different expressions. But, you know, today we're going to be working on the smile, maybe an open mouth, and also seeing how when a smile happens on a face, all of the features kind of lift up slightly. So we're going to be practicing that today, okay? So like always, we've got our paper, our pencil, a nice inky pen, obviously an eraser on our pencil, and I've got colored pencils. Hopefully you've got some cool coloring utensils at home. Paint, crayons, oil pastels, whatever you got would be perfect. I definitely suggest coloring in today because if you can see on our friend here, he's got these lovely light blue rings around his eyes and a nice blue kind of like body. So you don't really see outlines around those parts. So it's important to come back in with your color and add those different kind of shades to your little character. All right, so getting into it, we're going to get our pencil out, a nice piece of paper, hopefully a nice flat area as well. And let's get started, okay? Come along, come with me. Let's draw. All right, so here is our Stitch. Let me bring it up a little bit closer for you guys so you can see. We are going to be making an open mouth and a very happy looking Stitch, okay? So as you can see, these teeth, you know, I'm getting stressed just looking at them. Teeth have always been a little bit tricky for me my whole life, but you know, I've learned that working tooth by tooth really helps you out. And it's just another way of kind of seeing what goes next to each other and kind of basing it off of one kind of focal point, which we're going to be working on right now, okay? If you can remember from our other videos, a focal point is the starting spot and kind of like a midpoint to what you're going to base the rest of your drawing around. So let's roll up our sleeves and get started, okay? So we are going to start with a nice soft circle for his head and then work our way in, okay? So I'm going to start at the top of my paper here and make a nice soft circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to be exaggerating our lines, making them a little bit darker very soon. This just gives us kind of a starting spot to work off of. I suggest making the head come up slightly on the top. So I'm just going to darken my lines here on the side just so you can see what we're working with. But what we're going to do here at the top of the head is have it curve slightly up. So I'm having it go above my original circle. And we're just going to have it meet our sides here that we made. All right. Nice little chin just to work off of. All right. What a great base. So hopefully you got your nice rounded circle. And let's get into it, okay? So what I'm going to do is we are going to start with our nose, okay? Because once we have our nose, we can be like, okay, well, this eye is a little bit closer to this side of the nose. It's a little further away. And then we can use our eyes to base off where the ears are and so on, you know? So let's start with the nose. So you see Stitch is super happy today, but since his smile is coming up, his nose is a little further up on his head because his face is tilted up slightly. So you always want to think about those angles, right? So he's got a nose that's going to be a little bit higher up on our circle. So what we're going to do for our nose here, so I'm just going to erase these little extra lines here so you don't get confused. All right, so starting off with our nose here, we're going to go about an inch away from the top. And we're going to make a slightly curved line, just like that. We're going to make it wide enough that it's kind of coming a little bit closer to the right side. Perfect. Curving it down on the edges, just like this. And then making a small line at the bottom to really connect it here. So I'm kind of going in diagonal, like a triangle. Imagine the softest little upside down triangle you can ever see. So wide and a little bit skinnier at the bottom here. So then we can work our way into the nostrils here. So you're going to come to the side of this nose and you're going to come up with your line, around, and connecting it to the edge and doing the same thing on the other side, just like that. Bring it up here so you can see that. See how we have those two little cute nostrils? He's got kind of like a little pig nose. Okay, now we can work our way into the eye. So let's start with the right eye. So you see it's pretty close to the nose here. So I'm going to just make a little line to show where I'm going to start that. I'm starting with the pupil. So he's got these nice egg-shaped pupils. Really big. So let's have it be about the same length as the nose, okay? So we're making a nice rounded pupil. And then, like most cartoons, we're going to add that little shine that he's got in his eye, okay? So let's add a little small circle to the top right-hand corner of our pupil. And I am just going to color that in here, just so we can see where the darkness lies in our character. Okay, just like that. Lovely. Okay. Now, I'm going to make a little line from this top corner of the nose, just coming over to reach the edge here. And that's just kind of sectioning off our eye there. But you see what I was saying with the color? We're not going to make a line for the bottom of the eye because even though it looks like he's got these little panda circles around his eyes, there's no line there. It's just the color light blue. So I'm just going to leave those bare for now. Or just to show you where they would go, I'm going to make a slightly light curved line underneath, just so later on I know where those light blue lines do go. So right under the eye, I'm making a curved line. And so now for the other eye, we see his head is slightly tilted. He's looking over here. So this eye is going to look slightly different than this one. This one's a little bit pressed up to the side. This one's going to be a little bit more round than other ones. This is more of an egg. This one's going to be a nice little circle. So in the same kind of space, you can make a line to make sure they're on the same little area. And I'm just going to make a nice circle here. All right. Scooch that over a little bit. All right. So then once again on the right hand corner of the circle that we just made, we're going to make another shine and just fill that in just so we can see where the darkness is. Perfect. All right. Check it out. Actually, that pupil looks a little small. Let's just make it a little bigger on the bottom here. And then we can move on to our little, let's just do this little eyebrow line here. You see right above here, right where this other line is that we made here for this upper eye, we're going to just have a slightly curved line coming in. And making these small lines like this really shows that he is smiling big. His face is getting scrunched up, just like how we do when we smile. Sometimes our nose crinkles. So let's add those little crinkly lines. So right above the nose, you're going to make one curved line. And on top of that, a slightly smaller curved line. Little crinkle of the nose. And right above this little eyebrow mark that we made, we're going to make another curved line too. And that's just showing that his eye is also getting crinkled. And then I'm going to make the little curved circle around the eye, even though this isn't going to be outlined, just showing you where those little panda-like eye marks are. All right, so now I just got to do this part because I am so excited. I love his little, looks almost like a little chicken's crown, you know? So we're going to make his little hairdo. So we're going to make 3 little lumps curving to the right. So 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Right now, he looks like, if you guys ever watched the show Lilo and Stitch, there's this one character that has like, he loves sandwiches. He kind of looks like that. So that's the best part about this. A lot of the aliens in the whole like Lilo and Stitch series kind of start with this basic head shape, eye shape. So you can make other characters based off of this kind of shape here that we've got going. So right under the eyes, let's just finish this eye area. I'm making 2 nice curved lines. Also just marks that happen when you smile real big. And then right in the middle of the nose here, I'm just going to make a little line underneath. Just like how a cat has, you know? A little small line. Okay, so now, before we start with the mouth, let's finish off the head with the ears, okay? So right here, right underneath our pupil, right where our little light blue mark would be, we're going to make our ear coming up, curved, a nice curved line, only a little bit. And then right underneath that line that we just made, we're going to make another line coming up, crossing over, coming up, curving around, and back down. Nice big bunny-like looking ear. All right, and now for this little cut that has in his ear, maybe for, I don't know, maybe for getting a alien fight or something. But I'm going to make a little V shape and then have that cross over, just touching this little corner here. And then just making the same line right next to it, connecting at that little cut. So let's bring that in a little bit just so you can see. You got that little cut, the little V shape here in the ear. All right, let's get on to the next ear. I'm going to come right underneath this pupil, and I am going to just erase a small little bit, because once again, for our character, he is tilted slightly this way, so this ear is kind of going to be on the same level as the head. That's why these lines are connecting here. Shows that it's kind of a little bit more forward than this one, which is a little bit hidden behind the head. So let's make a nice curved line coming up, just like we did before. And then instead of touching this little area, you're going to go right in this little space where we erase and have it curve up, around, just like we did before. And let's make our another little cut, but up here at the top this time. Another little V shape for the cut. Bringing it back down. And let's connect it halfway on this line here, making the little Y shape here. All right, and then bringing it back here to the bottom. Perfect. Look at those ears. Can't wait to see yours. All right, so let's keep going on for the mouth. Now stick with me here. I know you've got it. We're going to work together for this mouth. Teeth are definitely a challenge, but that's what practice comes into hand. Try and find other characters that have their mouth open, that have some teeth showing, you know? Okay, so for the mouth, I'm making it kind of look like a sad face right now. So I'm doing a slightly curved downwards smile. Like a nice downward, I guess it wouldn't be a smile, it'd be a frown. So a curved line coming down. And then once you get to the cheek over here, you're going to just kind of curve it up slightly. See how that small little line just completely changed his expression? All right, and then we got his nice little mouth shape. I am going to erase my bottom line actually, because I realize it is a little bit small. And we'll add that in later. So for now, we're going to take the corner of our mouth where we curved it up, and we're going to bring it down, kind of bring it in slightly, curving it across. And now over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around, in slightly, and back down, connecting it to that line that we've already made. Because this is where his little cheek is going to go. I guess that little curve in is kind of almost like a little cheekbone in a way. Let's just finish that off by adding his little chin part underneath. All right, and right now he looks a little bit silly without teeth, so let's get into it. So you see how we made this little line here underneath his nose? Let's let that be our guide for where our first teeth are going to go. So now that we have a little middle spot, I'm going to actually very lightly bring that line across my mouth here. See, I'm making that my little guide. So I'm making this line underneath my nose come all the way down to the bottom of my mouth. And so now I can see that's the middle of where the teeth are going to be. So my top two teeth are going to be small, upside down, rounded triangles. So round, upside down triangles. 1 and 2, kind of like a little vampire. Check it out. All right, now let's do the bottom ones, okay? So instead of having them connect to the line, we're going to make them have a bottom this time. So we're going to curve it up, around. They're kind of going to be floating because we're going to add our gums in later on. Two nice little further apart teeth. And you see, I'm making them float instead of the top ones because we're looking down into his mouth slightly. Okay, I'm actually going to bring this tooth down slightly. You want to make sure it's on the same kind of space, line area. All right, and then let's finish on this top row of teeth here. So I'm going to work my way to the right. And so halfway in this first tooth, I'm just going to curve down and up. And so now the real trick is for teeth when they're kind of going to be overlapping. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to bring this closer up here just so you can really see what I'm doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go halfway in the tooth here. See this halfway here. And then I'm going to curve it up. Come in the middle, curve it up. I think there's only 3. Yeah, just like that. So let's do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to make our first tooth. That's going to be a little bit longer than the other ones. Nice rounded tooth. And then let's do the same exact thing. I'm going to touch the middle of the tooth here. And I'm going to curve it up to the top of the mouth. Curve it up to the top of the mouth. Just like that. So we have 3, 3, and 2 in the middle. So let's do the same thing on the bottom, okay? So since we are going to be seeing this gum area, I'm going to actually connect it because it's going further back into the teeth. So this bottom line here, they're going to start to connect. So here's one rounded triangle, and let's make another rounded triangle. And I'm going to call those my starter teeth, okay? Because now that we've got our base for the bottom ones, we've got the 2 bigger ones, 2 smaller ones. We're going to do the same thing, but going upwards now. So a regular triangle, rounded triangle, instead of upside down this time. So I'm going to find the middle of the tooth like last time and curve it down. Middle of the tooth, curve it down. We're just going to do that 2 times on the other side. Middle of the tooth, curve it down. You see? So now to finish it up, we're going to just add a line in between the teeth to really give it that nice finished look, make it actually look like there's gums there. See how I added those lines in between on the bottom? Perfect. All right. Well, now that we got the teeth out of the way, we're going to work, this is going to sound weird, but we're going to work our way further into the mouth, and we're going to do his tongue, okay? So I'm going to find the middle, once again, our little guideline we still have. I'm going to start on the left side, on the last tooth on the left, and curve it across a little bit further than the middle. And then we're just going to overlap here for the tongue. And then a little curved half circle in the back for the throat. So see, I had a line going across, another line coming here, and a little, it looks almost like a mountain and a sunset in the back. That's the best way to kind of make an open mouth. All right. So we've got our head done. We've got the hardest part out of the way. You guys did a great job. Let's keep going, okay? So now for the body, shouldn't take us too long now. We're almost there. So just like the little hairdo on the top, we're going to be doing it on his little chest area. So right underneath the teeth, we're going to just be making 3 little curved lines. 1, 2, 3. And then curving it down. And then let's work our way onto the left arm, okay? So right underneath the teeth, once again, we're having a curve going out and out. And these are going to be like his muscles on his arms. Even though he's small, he's strong. All right. And so for the paws, they get a little bit complicated because they do have these little nails here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to curve around and then overlap another curve around. I'm making little C shapes and then making a little line. So this is my first hand. You see, it kind of looks like a little camel hand. I did a round, and then a line, and then right on top of it, the same kind of little like sideways J shape. And then on the tips, just little ovals for the nails. Just like that, little nail shapes. All right, and then in front of that, he's got his other paw. So let's start on the top first. Make his arm. Same thing as the other side. We're curving it down, back out, and back down. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to come in and out, just like the other side, curving it down slightly, and bring it in. And let's do the same thing, okay? We're going to make another curved line and another curved line. And our little oval claws on the edge. Just like that. You see a bunch of little U shapes for those little fingers. See, if you take it part by part, there's no reason to get overwhelmed because you just got to go slow and steady and go at your own pace. You know, there's no rush when it comes to art. So now for the foot, I'm going to make, just like what we did with the head, I'm going to make a little circle. Nice little base. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 4 little ovals going around, 2 on the top, 2 on the sides, just like that. And then I'm going to make 2 little curved lines coming around it like a toe of each of those little ovals. So see how we made little curves coming around those ovals that we made? And then just connect all of those with a curved line. And this is his foot kind of staring straight at us, right? So we aren't going to see the side. We're just going to see what's straight towards this angle, okay? Let's make another little curved line in the middle for the foot. The thigh coming all the way to the right, nice curved line. Again, for the bottom, curving right next to it. Little squiggly line for the top of the leg. And then for the back, we're just going to come right under the teeth. Little line for the neck. Big curve for the booty. And then a little tiny curl for the tail. Cute. We are almost done. One last foot. So this foot is going to be pointed that way. We're just going to do a nice curved line coming down. And let's make 2 little ovals, one on the top, one on the side here. 2 curves, just like those little toes that we did on the other side. Connect them in the middle, connect them to that first line, and connect them across to that first foot that we made. All right, there you have it. Our cute little Experiment 626. So there's plenty of little marks that you're going to make later on. Once you outline and add your colors in, make sure you don't color in underneath his eyes here. You're going to really add some nice light blues to his chest, eyes. And then here on his back, he's got a little curved line for his blue marking. So dark blue, darker blue, light blue, and then right under his chin here is a nice light blue. And I used a nice purpley for the ears and the tongue, and a red for the throat. So a few different colors here today. If you're coming later on and this is not live, you can pause it here. You could wait till this showing is over so you can pause it so you can get all those colors right, or just look online and find the same kind of similar picture. But I hope you guys had fun drawing Stitch with me today. You see, I know we did Stitch in the past, but he was a favorite. I think he's so fun to draw. It definitely, he does have a bunch of different features that it gets a little tricky, but you stuck with it and you were incredible. I just want to remind you guys that every Sunday we have an art class with me here at the Ed Asner Family Center. Safe, separated, super fun, SSS. And Wednesday as well, we also have a music and art class with me and Judy Langdon, our music director. All right, well, if you have any ideas, if you are proud of any of your art that you've made here on the show or just in general, send it to me at avivah@asnerfamilycenter.org. All right, I'm going to go tam on this make-believe beach. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
One of the things I'm most proud of is our mental health department, where we provide low-cost counseling to special needs individuals and their families. During times like this is something that everyone can use.